Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything you need to get comfortable. Maybe it's a glass of water, a hot cup of tea or coffee, might even be a cozy sweater or a blanket. Also, if you have items at home and you'd like to smudge, now's a good time to grab those items as we begin to ignite the healing within. If you don't have smudge at home, relatives, that's okay. We'll send you some cleansing, healing, and positive energy. It's a new day. It's another sunrise. It's our opportunity to start fresh, check in, take inventory of how we're feeling and what we need, and decide how we're going to move forward on our wellness path today. I definitely need to smudge today, that's for sure. Just taking a deep breath. Aloha, kakahiaka. Hello and good morning. My name is Malia and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., where we will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self-care and wellness into our daily lives, and we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, relatives. I'd like to take a moment to greet everyone out there and first recognize our HIR Wellness Institute team member who is here with us. We have our CARES Counseling intern, Odessa Peters. When you see the HIR Wellness Institute commenting, that's Odessa. So just know that not only do you have myself as an advocate and a community healer, you have Odessa as well. We're here for you, relatives. Good morning, Odessa. How are you doing today? And to our relatives out there, I want to say good morning. We're so glad that you're here with us today as we practice what our CEO and founder, Native Hawaiian woman, mother of Oneida children, Leah Denny, has founded this organization and created, coined, and developed what we call community activated medicine. That means that the people are the medicine. And right here, right now, in this circle of care, we're able to lean into each other. We're here for you. I'm here for you. Odessa's here for you. And I know you're here for us too. Community activated medicine, that means that the people are the medicine. And right here, right now, that's what we're doing. We're healing together. And if community activated medicine means that the people are the medicine, that means that you have the ability within your own heart, your own mind, your own body, and your own spirit to do your own part of your healing. We all have trauma. We all have pain. And this is what we're here for. We're here to help heal each other. We're here to talk about it. We're here to help you release what needs to be released. We're here to give you time to reflect on what you need, on what you want, on what you want to let go, what's not serving you. So let's start with a check-in. How are you doing today, relatives? How are you? How's it going this morning? Take a moment. If you want, you can close your eyes, scan your body. Are there areas in your body where you might be feeling tightness, maybe tension, discomfort, maybe even pain? Sometimes we feel it in our jaws or our shoulders or neck. Sometimes we feel it with a sore tummy or indigestion. Sometimes it's in our lower back, might be in our knees, our hips, or our feet. Maybe it's in your hands. Are there thoughts that are heavy in your mind that kept you up late at night, or things that were circulating in your mind? Or are there emotions that are heavy in your heart? I see you, Winona. Good morning. How are you doing today, Winona? I see Jessica. Jessica's our bilingual victim service advocate and also a program support specialist, really. Jessica, good morning. How's everyone doing? How are you all doing out there? I want you to know that whether you're new to these videos or you've been to them for a long time, we've been doing them since March, since COVID, that you're always welcome here. And whether you're having a good day, a not so good day, or maybe a bad day, that we're here for you. So I'm checking in, seeing how you're doing. And if you want to, please do. We always support you to type how you're feeling in the comments. You can comment, you can ask questions, you can share your own wisdom with others. That's being part of the healing. You can share your own insight. Maybe it's your ancestral wisdom or cultural teachings. We're here to support each other. Odessa says, I'm tired, but doing okay. I have set myself up to have a nice day today, and I'm very excited. Lots of self-care, starting with a nice cup of hot tea. I love it. Love it, love it. So let us know how you're doing, relatives, and while you're taking a moment to think about it, to survey where you're at, how you're feeling, I'm going to go ahead and brew a cup of tea. This week I've been featuring a roasted almond tea, so let me show you what I got. Fava tea, roasted almond. This is a red bush tea or a rooibos tea. It's different than regular teas because this doesn't have actual tea leaf in it. Rooibos is it is an herbal tea. It is non-caffeinated, which I need. Caffeine sometimes makes me feel not so good. It can give me headaches and make me feel kind of sick, so I'm sensitive. The temperature we're actually going to boil. True teas we don't boil. Red bush tea we do. And we're going to steep it for 7 minutes. So I have my filtered boiled water here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some pinches of tea in here. Really 2 teaspoons. So almost a tablespoon. My kitten's here trying to get up in my business as usual. Pretty, don't hurt yourself. It's hot tea. Alright, we're going to let this unfold, let it bloom and blossom as it brews, and I'll show you what this tea looks like. Now, we feature a different tea every week. Our plant relatives, given to us by the Creator, very powerful medicine. One of the most pleasant things to me, that one of our gifts from Mother Earth, is tea. And there's so many different types of tea. This has cardamom seeds, very warming, good for digestion. It helps with gas, those kind of unmentionables. We have dried apples, which is vitamin C. It also sweetens the taste. Now the prize in this, remember this is called roasted almond rooibos. Here's little pieces of almond. When I strain this tea into my teacup, if some almonds fall in there, that's great. I'll chew on them. We have cloves. Cloves are very important for They're really, and they're affordable too. They're really a good antibacterial, antiviral, antimicrobial, very warming as well. And then you're gonna also see, I think we have little bits, yeah, little bits of rose hips, dried rose hips. You can see here, rose hips, beautiful, beautiful. I believe it's a native plant. You can even find them in the woods in the winter sometimes, the red berries. And then also, I don't know if you can see it here. See how all this tea here that looks like tobacco? It's kind of got that red, thin, sort of shredded look about it. That's the red bush tea. Red bush is a very high in antioxidants. It's wonderful for women when you're feeling, in your moon, when you're in your moon phase, or it's really good for, it's a strong antioxidant, but it's just really good for women in general. It's good for men too, but it really can support women in a lot of our unique needs that we have. So excellent tea. It smells amazing. It smells like cinnamon and I don't know how, but milk and vanilla. It's excellent. My favorite is the cardamom seeds. So we're gonna go ahead and let that steep. Odessa says the kitty is so cute. She's cute, but she's like a gremlin and she runs around the house like she's spastic. And she's tiny. She's like this big. When I first got her, she was 1.5 pounds. Now she's probably maybe 3 pounds. I've only had her for like a month, if even. Not even a month yet. And we have two big cats, male cats. One's black, one's a tuxedo cat like her. They're big. And she chases them around. She's the boss. It's very interesting. I never thought I would have a diva kitty, but I do have a diva kitty, and she's tiny, so we shall see what she grows up to be. Winona says, I'm doing okay. Being a frontline worker, got the COVID vaccine, just got some side effects, but just exhausted. Thanks for sharing, Winona, and for being on the front lines. Hope you're feeling okay with the vaccine. I know the vaccines sometimes, whether you're doing a flu vaccine or whatever it is, you can not feel too well. So sending some healing thoughts your way, Winona, and thanks for sharing. How else are you doing out there, relatives? You can share, we can talk about it. How am I doing? I want to share, if that's okay, how I'm doing today. Um, I have a blocked salivary gland. I don't know. I have like stones in my salivary glands. It's been very painful. I didn't even know that was a thing. And so I went to the doctor last week and I'm on antibiotics and I just honestly just don't feel good. Today for me is one of those days, particularly yesterday, where I was just feeling like feverish and hot and I took a COVID test. It's negative. So I know it's not that. I don't know. I think it's this weird stone in my salivary glands infection, and I feel exhausted. I'm just exhausted. So I feel like I should sleep for a couple days. But life happens and we got stuff we gotta do. So I'm gonna try and take it easy this week. Normally I'm one of those people who likes to be out and about, running around, getting stuff done. And I don't think I have that in me this week. I really got to slow down. So I'm pretty bummed about that. And I wanted to exercise this week. I don't even think I got that in me. So that's how I'm doing today. Just really tired. Not feeling too great, but as always, really happy to be here with you relatives. Jessica says, I'm well, just tired, but grateful for a new day. So glad to hear. Yesterday, Jessica shared with us, she made, I think you call it punche, and it's basically like punch, and it had like sugar cane and fruits in it, and it's like a hibiscus tea, and it was served warm with honey, and it was a fantastic tea. So relatives, for those of you out there, if you're not doing okay today, I'm always here to remind us every time that we meet. If you're not okay, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. Today I'm not okay. I'm just not feeling good. Yesterday, not doing okay. But when we're feeling that way, there's things that we can do. When we're feeling that way, talk to someone that you trust. Maybe it's a friend or a family worker. It might even be a coworker that you trust. Reach out to someone and talk it out. And you can also call our Cares Warm line. It's open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can call or text. And within 24 hours, you'll be connected to one of our Cares Warm counselors. Jessica, Odessa, myself. We know all of our Cares Warm Lines counselors personally. I love them all as people, but also know that our Cares Warm counselors are passionate about walking alongside you on your path and journey of self-care, wellness, and mental health. You can talk to them about what's on your mind. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you're anxious. Maybe you're mad or upset. Or maybe you don't even know exactly what it is that you're feeling, and you just need to talk it out because you know you're feeling some sort of way. You'll be heard, respected. They will listen to you judgment-free and stigma-free. You're not alone, relatives. Not only can our CARES counselors provide you with emotional support, but they can also connect you to resources that may be helpful to you. We all need to be able to lean into others sometimes. Sometimes strength and resilience means that we realize when we do need to talk. We realize when we need to talk to somebody. Sometimes being strong and resilient means allowing yourself to be vulnerable when it feels right. I know, relatives, all of you out there are strong. I know you are all resilient. I know this for a fact. You're a testament of the culmination of all of the struggles and victories and resilience of all your ancestors who came before you. You're beautiful. You're strong. If you're not feeling okay, just know that you're not alone. You deserve to be heard and to be seen and to be cared for. Every one of us do. We deserve that and we need it, and that's okay. Jessica said she made Mexican ponche, perfect for this weather. Yes, it was fantastic. Hibiscus tea. I think we should cover that maybe next week if I can get into fava and get some hibiscus tea. We can talk about that. She had sugar cane in there to chew on and some fruit. I don't even know what all of the fruit was. There was some beautiful fruit in there. I loved it. Thank you so much for sharing. Culture is medicine, relatives. Sometimes it comes in the form of food or tea or medicines like tobacco, sage, sweetgrass, Sao Paulo. There's all different types of things that we can tap into for our wellness. And relatives, I talk about wellness so much. What does it mean to you? What does self-care and wellness mean to you? Please feel free to comment because there's no one right answer. There's lots of right answers. I'll say to me, what is self-care and wellness and why is it even relevant? Why is it important? First, I'll define it in just my own words. Self-care is any thought, action, motion that we do that serves what it is that we need, that serves our highest good. And what is it you need? I can't tell you that. That's for you to know. It's unique for every single one of us. What is it that you need that serves your spirit, that feeds your soul, that brings you joy, that makes you feel loved? Then those actions that you take that move you towards that, whether you crawl towards it or walk towards it, or even just stand at the path and contemplate what it is that you really truly want. Thanks, Winona. Have a good day too. Be safe out there. Those actions are self-care, and we can put them into our lives every day with your tea, every time you drink a glass of water, every time you say something kind to yourself, every time that you say no for something that has tapped you out and you don't have the energy for, every time that you deep breathe or take a nap or call a doctor for a doctor's appointment or brush your teeth or take a shower or massage your hands or talk in a loving way to your friends and family, or go out in nature, exercise. They're limitless. Some of them are easy and fun. Self-care can be naps. Self-care can be Netflix and ice cream. It can be. I needed that yesterday. I didn't get it, but I should have done that. That should have been my self-care yesterday. So now that you have that definition, and feel free to share what it means to you. What self-care means, what does wellness mean? Now, how is that healing? Are these things like taking a nap healing? Why is drinking a cup of tea healing? Why is laying a tobacco healing? It's healing because we all walk with trauma. We all walk with our pain. We all have our story. It does not matter who you are. We all have that. We all do. And every time we take these seemingly small actions throughout our day, it shows ourselves that we matter. It shows ourselves that our health is important. It shows us that having compassion for ourselves is important. It shows us that even though we walk with pain, that we don't have to walk with it forever. Even though we have historical trauma and generational trauma for many of us, that means that we can break that cycle. Some of our relatives, their parents, their grandparents' parents came from boarding schools. My relatives, even my father, who served in the U.S. Army, he was born in 1946 in Hawaii. He was a native Hawaiian. He was born a native Hawaiian in a captive territory. And in 1959 became an American. He didn't even go anywhere. He was just in Hawaii. His trauma, he became a soldier. And he wasn't even allowed to vote. That trauma passes on through our blood. That trauma passes on in our development. And we can break that cycle. And not only that does that serve our highest good, it also serves to heal the pain of our ancestors. So every time you care for yourself, you're breaking that cycle. Okay, so we have some comments here. Okay, Odessa says, recently I have been creating and feeding my sourdough starter. Her name is Midge. Aw. But I get to attend to her every morning. It is therapeutic and feels intentional. So sourdough starter, I'm thinking Odessa, I don't know much about this, but that is the yeast, right? It's kind of like it makes me think of kombucha, how you have sort of a mother yeast and you feed it so that it can continue to produce more yeast. Odessa, I'm thinking that's what it is. That's awesome. Odessa. Okay, Rochelle. Good morning, Rochelle, all the way from Florida. Thank you for being here, Rochelle. How are you doing today? If you want to share, let us know. I bet it's way gorgeous out there in Florida, down there in Florida. Chris, how are you doing? Chris says, I think in regards to self-care and wellness, it's intention and recognition of our spirits. Wow. To be in the presence of our spirit, right? And to recognize that. Um, I think for spirit, especially as Westerners, one of the things that one of the I guess byproducts of being living Western lives, because there's a lot of benefits, but um, one of the byproducts truly is that our mind becomes overactive. Our mind is always driving, and remember, we're sentient beings. We are not just mind. We're also body. We're also spirit. We're our emotions. Um, And when the mind is overreactive, it really does quell the spirit, and we get lost of not being in the present of what's inherently already there. Even though we're always in the presence of our spirit, sometimes when the mind is too active, we can't connect. It's hard to see it, even though it's here all the time. So thank you, Chris. And Chris, thank you so much for your work and what you do. Actually, we are doing some of the HIR Wellness Institute team members are doing Red Road training for our youth this week. And it was yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And Chris did some really, really amazing and awesome presentations in ways that we can serve our youth. And really, all people, but it's been wonderful, Chris. I'm looking forward to today. Thank you so much. Jessica says, my grandmother passed away last week. She is with me now in a different way. One of the memories I had with her is making the punch. For that reason, yesterday, I decided to make the punch. That was wellness for me. Culture is medicine. Connecting to your ancestors is medicine. Thank you for sharing, Jessica. Recipes. It's good medicine. Jessica says, today meditation before leaving the bed is energetic for me. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to meditate today, guys. Chris says, thank you for hosting such beautiful work. Same to you, Chris. Thank you so much. Jessica says, Odessa says, Jessica, that is beautiful for that share. I love that you made the punch yesterday, not only because it was tasty, but because you brought your grandmother into the space. So beautiful. Odessa says, in regards to the sourdough yeast, all it contains is flour and water, but it naturally creates bacteria that creates the yeast. I am new to the sourdough game, so I'm figuring it out as I go, but I find it fascinating. Well, Odessa, I think the HIR Wellness Institute needs to be your guinea pig when you do your first sourdough. Greatly appreciated, thank you. Rochelle says, I'm good, thank you. Yes, it's cool here, not as cold as Milwaukee. Thank you for letting us know, Rochelle. Chris Miner, sending you lots of love too. Indigo, another amazing, amazing healer and helper out there in sometimes a difficult world. Indigo, North Carolina. Indigo, please do link your website. Also, Chris, too, if you want to list your organization's website, that would be awesome because these are really, truly amazing resources, relatives. There's resources for us for our healing, and there's two people right here who have some great resources direct. Indigo says wellness for me is sleeping until I wake up. Oh, that sounds amazing. I think I'm gonna need that wellness for me on Saturday morning. Goodness. All right, let's go ahead and check the tea. We'll deep breathe. Okay, so I have my tea strainer. Just gonna put that here. Chris linked us to Generation Red Road. Relatives, check out this website. Beautiful, beautiful resource for Native people, but really anyone. It's a beautiful, beautiful way of healing. There's lots of resources there for you. I'm just going to strain this tea. And you can kind of see how the tea is blossomed up in there. Beautiful color. This is why they call it rooibos. Rooibos in English means red bush. Red bush tea grows in South Africa. Outstanding. And look at this here. Oh, look at that tea. It smells like a caramel apple. It smells so good. Roasted almond, red bush tea. Cheers to all of our relatives out there in good health. May you have moments today. Moments where you can practice self-care, wellness, honor who you are, love who you are. Oh, that tea is so good. The one regret that I have when we do these lives is I wish we were all drinking tea together because, as a native Hawaiian, we share everything. So I always feel strange, like, oh, this is an amazing cup of tea. I'm going to drink all by myself. I wish I could share it with you. Okay. Yeah, Rochelle says, my condolences to you and your family, Jessica, and thanks for sharing. Thank you for your sympathy, Rochelle. Thank you so much. Odessa says, thank you, Indigo. That is a beautiful and calming way to start one's day. Beautiful, beautiful. Chris says, your scarf tie is beautiful. Love the colors and pattern. Thank you so much, Chris. Got it in Mexico City. Jessica, who is from Mexico, she told me that they use these for a lot of things, and sometimes I think like storing things in, or even like wrapping. I think I think you can wrap your baby in these, which would make sense because it's really long and wide. So when I got my kitten Purdy, I put her here, and then I wrap this over and like this, and then she sits in my on my chest here. And now whenever she's tired, which she usually, I'm surprised she's not here in my lap right now, she'll crawl up, and then then I'll know it's time to get the scarf. Then I get the scarf, and then I wrap her in there, and she falls asleep. So thanks, Chris. Okay, Marilyn Murray Wilson says, hello all from sunny Boca Raton. Get your vitamin D. Marilyn, thank you, and aloha to you. Where exactly are you on the map? Boca Raton. In my mind, I think of New Orleans, but really, Marilyn, please let us know where you are, if you don't mind. You don't have to, and yes, that vitamin D. I'll take it in a supplement form because Wisconsin, it's gray. It's probably going to be gray until March. We'll see. Hopefully, we had a sunny day or two. Indigo says, we are having tea with you in our home. Enjoy yours. Thank you, Indigo. What tea are you guys having? What's your elixir this morning? Okay, so this week we've been doing flower breathing. Marilyn says, South Florida, north of Miami. Wow, Florida guys, I wish I was there. So when we deep breathe, we're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to exhale through the mouth. Closing your eyes is optional. You don't have to. Also, when we deep breathe here, I'll teach a new breathing technique every week. And you can sit, lay, or recline however you feel comfortable. When we're doing flower breathing, what I do is breathe in the healing energy. And I need some today because I got something going on here with my salivary glands or whatever and the antibiotics. So I'm going to breathe in that healing energy, and I'm going to focus on this area of my body. But you can focus on maybe feelings you're having, or a general just overall healing when you inhale, Or maybe if there's thoughts that are weighing in your mind, bring that healing energy there wherever you need it. And when you exhale, we're going to release that tension, that anxiety, whatever's not serving you. When we inhale, we're going to open and blossom those fingers like a flower. And when we exhale and release what's not serving us, we're going to close those blossoms. We'll go from there into a stretch. This is going to slow our heart rate. This is going to slow the racing thoughts in our minds. It's going to ground us and keep us centered. When we do that, when we let the mind not be in control anymore, we go into a heart space. The heart doesn't have language of words. The heart has language of emotion. That's where we connect to spirit. When we connect to spirit, we grow in light. We grow in positivity and gratitude. It's a place that we need to connect to more often. And for me today and yesterday especially, it's just one I'm just having those 2 days, relatives. I am. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. Bring in those healing energies. And exhale and release. Let's do one more set. And exhale through the mouth. We're going to go ahead and roll the shoulders. Now, same thing with our breathing or really anything about our wellness. This is your choice, relatives. You are the captain. You're in charge. You decide what you need, even with your stretches. If you don't want to stretch in your shoulders, it's fine. Stretch what you need. If you don't want to sit, stand. If you don't want to stand, lay down or recline. Listen to your body. You know best. Inhale. Oh, that feels good. You might yawn here. I always do. Arm across. We're stretching that shoulder and upper back, rolling out the wrist. Always feel free to stretch what you want, what you need. Take a deep inhale. And extending that arm out directly in front of us, pushing down on the fingertips. Stretching the forearm and wrist. If you don't like that, you can just roll your wrist, or again, choose whatever stretch you need. Take a deep inhale. Clasping the fingers, palms out and up towards the ceiling. You might hear some snaps or crackles or pops like the cereal I do every time I do this. It feels great. And the sounds that your body makes, it's releasing some tension. It's okay as long as it feels all right. Stretching the tricep, other side. Let's go ahead and stretch the neck from side to center. Ooh. And then we're going to go ahead and double tap the ear towards the shoulder. And then let's go ahead and roll the neck nice and gentle. Keep that chin in the front. Our neck, we hold so much tension here. Even our throat too. This helps the throat. If you prescribe to chakras, it's our really good actions for your throat chakra. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And then we're going to look down towards our lap, nice and gentle. And upwards, stretching. Oh, that feels so good here. Especially because I have some pain in my throat. One more time, looking down. And up. Indigo says, I'm having jasmine green tea. Gorgeous. Jasmine. So I'm native Hawaiian, and in our where that makes us Polynesian. Polynesian is kind of like when they say Native American or Native. You could be Apache, you could be Menominee, you could be Oneida, you could be Ho-Chunk, you could be all different, right? Navajo, all these things, Lakota. But the general term is like Native American or Native or Turtle Island people. Polynesians are that way. We're the Pacific Islanders, the indigenous people of the Pacific, from the northwestern Hawaiian island chain on down through Tahiti, Samoa, New Zealand, Tonga, Rapa Nui. There's lots of islands. So Fiji, and the jasmine flower in Polynesia is very, very highly prized. Not only for its beauty, but also its fragrance and also how it represents the beauty of a woman. I really like jasmine tea. Um, I I think it's really a good tea. It's a powerful tea. I don't drink it all the time. It's been a long time. But I do love the flower very much. So, inspiring some jasmine tea, indigo. I think I need to get me some. Odessa says I'm drinking Earl Grey Supreme tea from Fava. This is truly one of the best teas I have ever had. Earl Grey Supreme from Fava. It's outstanding. I had never had a very high quality Earl Grey until Fava's. It smells like Fruit Loops. It tastes amazing. It is caffeinated. It's excellent with a hint of cream, spot of cream in it. And it's just great plain too. It's really good with some cream. All right, relatives, before we go, I want to share the lunar phase that we're in according to my ancestral teachings, the Native Hawaiian lunar calendar, known as Keala Okamahina, or the pathway of the moon. The lunar phase that we're in right now, we're in Ku Lua. This is the second day of the Ku moons. We're only in like the fourth day of the beginning of the lunar cycle. So Monday was a new moon. So we're only in the fourth day from the new moon. We still have quite some days left. This brand new lunar cycle. But we're in the Ku moons. Ku is a god of it's one of the four major Hawaiian gods, and the moon phases, according to my ancestral teachings, always is always in regard to one of our gods or akua, one of our akua. And Ku is a god of sacrifice, and what I mean by that is sacrifice for the greater good. So what that might look like in your journey is, if you want to integrate this into your self-care practice, you can. You don't have to. But if you want to try sacrifice for the greater good in a Ku moon, like today would be, instead of eating a slice of apple pie, you eat an apple. That would be Ku moon energy. Instead of going for your leisurely walk for 30 minutes, maybe you jog for 5 minutes of it. That would be Ku moon energy. Striving for excellence. Doing things for others. So maybe some of your wellness today might look like asking your spouse or your partner or your children or your grandchildren that you're with, asking them what they want to do just for a moment of happiness. Like, hey, what would you like to do right now? We could watch a movie. They could make you some hot chocolate, whatever, and just allowing yourself a moment for them, just to be with them and to love them and to honor them. Because when we're in the Ku moons, it really is, there are times where we really can give to others if we have it in us. That's the other thing too that's really important, is it's got to feel right for you. If you're at that point where you're like, no, I just need me time, that's totally okay too. You know what you need. I don't. You do. So honor that and listen to yourself and trust it. Ku moon energy might look like, I use this one a lot, is calling a doctor. You might have one of those things, like it might have been something in the back of your mind, like I should probably get into the dentist office, I should probably go to the doctor, but I really don't want to, because I'm just not ready to face it. This is the kind of moon energy that we're in right now, at least according to my ancestral teachings of Native Hawaiian teachings, which is, you know, sometimes wellness and self-care looks like a cup of tea or some meditation or deep breathing, and sometimes it looks like going to the doctor. It's not always as easy. And you got to choose when it's right for you. and what is right for you. Like for me, I put off going doing exercise for many months, and then this past month I said, you know what? I don't necessarily want to, do exercises that are strenuous, but it's time, and I knew it was time. And when it felt right, I went for it. So those are the moons that we're in, the cool moons. And we have another couple through Saturday, we'll be in the cool moons. So allow yourself, this is the time to put that energy out in physicality, in motion. Sometimes in my ancestral teachings, we're in moon phases where we're supposed to just reflect. We're not supposed to take action. Sometimes in the moon, it's day for preparation. Sometimes it's in the moon, it's just day for prayer. Sometimes it's days for action, and we're in those days of action. And then on Sunday, we're not again. And then it switches again. And that's the beauty of the lunar phase. It will always consistently happen. It will ebb and flow. Sometimes we have energy, sometimes we don't, but it's always going to come around again full circle. That's the power of Grandmother Moon. That's the same thing about, the beauty of our sun. The sun's always going to rise, the sun is always going to set. It allows us that moment to set our intentions, to realize that we can always start again. We get that blessing every day that we can start again every single day. Thankfully, right? Because some days just, ugh. And some days are great. I want to talk just a couple more minutes before we go. I'm not going to do some positive affirmations. I do want to talk about the importance of being authentic about how you feel, whether you're having a good day or a bad day, or a good week or a bad week, or a good 2020 or a not so good 2020. Sometimes when we're not doing okay, or if we're just doing badly for a day or however long that period is, it's really important that we honor and recognize authentically where we're at and what we're feeling. Because when you don't, and you're here, but you're suppressing it and acting like everything's fine and you're fine and you're fine and everything else matters more than you. Everything else matters more than your rest. Everything else matters more than your nutritious food or whatever you need. When you do that and you start putting yourself second consistently and you tell everyone, "Oh, I'm fine," and you tell yourself, "I'm fine," but your spirit and your body and your mind is like, "No, I'm not fine," then you have this disconnect. And when you have that disconnect, how can you take the next step? You got to meet yourself where you're at. If you're down here, be like, "Hey, I'm down here." Because then you can crawl, you can walk, you can sprint, you can just sit and reflect. If we're not being honest and authentic with ourselves about where we're really at, that disconnect becomes manifest in ways of resentment, in ways of feeling like you don't matter, in ways of anxiety, um, in ways of when we live inauthentically, we can become sad. We can become disconnected. So even if you're having a bad day, it's okay. You can talk about it and it's okay. Um, I liken it to a teapot boiling over. This actually happened to me yesterday when I was with my ohana, my family. I had a lot of anxieties and stresses and exhaustion and concerns and worries that have been weighing heavy on my mind and not feeling well. I just started getting hot. Like I was feeling physically hot and I was like feeling really emotional and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna blow. I'm like a teapot. I'm about to blow steam." And I did. I let it out. And that's the thing about being vulnerable. Um, Being vulnerable when you're in a space where you trust who you're with, partners, grandparents, parents, best friends, people that you really trust, you can let that out because if you don't, it can manifest into things like illness, headaches. indigestion, ulcers, heartburn, pain, physical pain, like a teapot. And so I let it out yesterday. And it was kind of a dark moment because I really said some things that were kind of welling up inside me that were hurting me. And my ohana, my family, was willing to hold space for that. They were willing to be there in community activated medicine. And so I thanked them for that. And I think some of them were like, whoa, she's not feeling okay. And no, I wasn't. But I felt better. And I woke up today feeling better. Because we don't want to leave that inside there. And you may not necessarily need to release it. Again, this is up to you, relatives. You may not need to release it in a way where you're just like spewing at everybody. Maybe releasing it for you is deep breathing. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's punching a pillow or screaming home alone, screaming to a pillow or just screaming when no one's around. Just yelling out a howl, like whatever it is. Allow yourself to do that, because when you release it, your cup is empty or your teapot is empty, then you can fill it back up with what you need at the time. So, also too, it felt really good to smudge this morning because I needed that, and I'll probably smudge throughout the day. I need that cleansing. And then of course too, when I had this, I was just letting it out yesterday. So reaching back to the people that you trust, that you talk to, and letting them know, like, thank you. Thank you. Like, thank you for letting me be me. Thank you for letting me share my darkness. Thank you for listening to me be upset. Odessa says being vulnerable can be so powerful. So let me see. Oh, sorry, let me put it here. Odessa's, okay, being vulnerable can be so powerful. Letting some of that energy out of your body, it is brave to be vulnerable. Yes. And I'm not saying you have to like do it all the time, or you just have to sit there and let people listen to your spew all the time. But there are times. There are times, because friendship and relationships, family and partnerships means being there when you need people, and sometimes you need to release that. Rochelle says, I've struggled with that for a long time, and I'm trying to be honest with myself to say, no, I'm not okay. It's such a struggle for me because I'm so used to being there for everyone else. Oh, Rochelle, thank you for sharing. Rochelle, and maybe other relatives out there, are you one of those people that everyone looks to? Like they lean on you and you feel more comfortable serving others or giving to others? You might even feel comfortable being like, hey, I need this. Those are it's almost like a trauma response, Rochelle. I struggle with that too. I know a lot of our relatives do. You might be severely independent. That can be a response to growing up, being disappointed. Um, yeah. And also having to be the strong one. You might be that person. I bet a lot of you relatives are the person that people call when they're struggling, when they need help, when they're not doing well. Well, we need those people too. Because this reminds me of what our founder, Leah, always says. Um, we need to heal the healers. We need to heal the healers, because if your cup is empty, you can't pour for anyone else. And it's really, really important, Rochelle, and all of us, I'm not preaching, I'm reminding myself too, that if you don't nurture your own needs, you will become resentful. You'll get angry. You'll be sad. So nurture yourself too. And that is a huge reason why self-care is so important. It seems trivial. Like, why do I need a cup of tea? Who cares? I don't feel like deep breathing. That's weird, or whatever, whatever it is. But trust me, believe me, relatives, those seemingly small actions or thoughts or reflections are really, really important for yourself. You need it. You need it. And that's the beautiful thing about it is it's enjoyable. Self-care is awesome. Odessa's feeding her sourdough yeast. I'm blowing my top in a place that I trust people. People are drinking tea. People are helping others. Like, you got to do what you got to do. Forgive yourself for it. Let yourself be who you are. Unapologetically be who you are. And one of the things yesterday when I let out some feelings that I was having when I was with the people that I trust, when I was with my ohana and the family that I trust to let out some darkness, I was very intentional not to apologize. But what I did was thank them for being present with me. I did not apologize for my feelings because they weren't feelings that were meant to hurt anyone. They were just feelings that were authentic. They were just something that I had inside me that needed to come out. So I thanked them. I didn't apologize. I didn't say, I'm sorry, you guys, you had to hear that. No, that's what they're there for. That's what the people who love you are there for. So I did not apologize. I thanked them. And Rochelle, thank you so much for sharing. It's really, really powerful when we share what's going on, when we're not hiding those feelings and thoughts. It's a safe place here to share that stuff because it can be the beginning point for some of us to realize, hey, we need to be seen too. Hey, we need it too. And we can begin to normalize that because we have suppressed that so much. Our society supports the suppression of what is perceived as weakness. Vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is strength. Authenticity is not weakness. Uniqueness is not weakness. It is absolutely strength. Being who you are, the 1 in 7 billion that you are, is extremely powerful. Creator made you to be you. Me to be me, Rochelle to be her, Odessa to be her. Being who you are is exactly what you need to be. The darkness and all. And you can walk that healing journey in whichever way you need, however you need it. Odessa says sometimes just acknowledging that the emotion, sensation, thought is there. We are allowed to feel positive and negative emotions. When we feel, it is our body trying to tell us something. Listen to our bodies. Odessa says thank you for your beautiful share, Rochelle, and sharing that part with us. It is okay not to be okay. Indigo says, sometimes too, you have to train people to be there for you. If you've already trained them to see you as who they look to for support. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Thank you, Indigo. They may have a hard time holding both, but I found that under lockdown, I've needed to make the effort to retrain the people in my life to be more supportive for me. Wow, that's very, very insightful. Thank you, Indigo, for your wisdom on this. Yeah, that is so true. People, and as you're on this healing journey and you allow that darkness of yourself to come out sometimes, you allow that need to come out sometimes, it can put people off. They're like, whoa, like what's happening? What's happening with this person? She's always happy. She was always fine. And now she's not fine. And sometimes it can be like, wow. So this is so true, Indigo. It may be like disorienting to them and just let them know. And you're right, it is like training people. Like you train them to not like you've given the message that you don't need anyone or anything or any help, and now suddenly you need help because you're being more authentic, and all of us as human beings need help and support and other people. Yeah, they can have a hard time at first, so it is okay. I encourage you to say to people like, hey, the people that you trust, hey, you know what? I'm on a healing journey, or I'm learning to be more forward about what I need, or more authentic about my needs, or however you say it, and be like, you know, that means that sometimes I might just need you. I might need to reach out to you. I might need to talk to you about things that are weighing in my mind and just be really authentic about it. And those people who support you, they will continue to support you. And what else it can do too is normalize for them, like, hey, you know what? Really strong people, people that I love and admire, these people need help too. That must mean it's okay not to be perfect. That must mean it's okay that even if I am strong, that I can show my vulnerability, and then we can begin to um, mirror that for them. We can begin to show an example that, hey, you know what? This person's amazing. And this person also has problems. And that's a good thing because we can see each other for human beings and love and respect each other, warts and all. And you're welcome, Rochelle. I want to say mahalo nui loa. Thank you all so much for being here. You're all healers. We all are. That's community activated medicine. There's no sages here. I'm not above you or below you. I'm right here with you, shoulder to shoulder, side by side. We all need healing. I need it too. That's why we're here together at these 8 a.m.s. We're destigmatizing mental health. We're decolonizing mental health. We're allowing ourselves to love each other. We're allowing ourselves to love ourselves. Malama Panoi Kokino. Take good, righteous care of your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit. Aloha nui, huge love to you all, relatives. Thank you all so much for being who you are and showing up today with your authentic self. To help to heal yourself, to help to heal others. Before we go, there is a community survey link to this video. Please take it, relatives, if you haven't. It's completely anonymous. Ask just a few questions. That's the way we keep our programs and services completely free and understand how best to serve you. Our relatives, our ohana, our human family. Ahui ho akuno, I'll see you later. Hope to see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and aloha.